What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the HA Double again. I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. I just want to give my quick prediction on Timothy Bradley and the Timothy Bradley and Manny Pacquiao fight. Um, a lot of people are running around saying that Timothy Bradley is gonna pull off the upset and et cetera, et cetera. Um, Everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's why it's an opinion. But for me, I don't feel like Timothy Bradley is going to win this fight against Manny Pacquiao, and the reason being is because you got to actually look at the logistics. You got to look at everything that's going on behind the scenes. A lot of the things that you don't see, or a lot of the things that you may not actually know, that's taking place as far as this fight is concerned. Now, one, Timothy Bradley fights under Bob Arum now. He fights. That means he works for Bob Arum. So Timothy Bradley also, he's not Bob Arum's cash cow. He's not his cash cow. Manny Pacquiao is. So that means that if there's an inkling that Bob Arum feels like that Manny Pacquiao possibly could face some problems against a fighter like Timothy Bradley, then you know that he's going to make sure that Timothy Bradley doesn't hurt his fighter. He's not going to put. First of all, he's not going to put Manny Pacquiao in the ring with somebody he feels like may cause harm to Manny Pacquiao. Some people say, well, he fought Marquez and he lost that fight. Yes, he did. Anybody who watched that fight knows that Manny Pacquiao got chewed. He got ate up in that fight all day long. He got ate up in that fight. At the end of the day, what happened? You seen the biggest barefaced robbery without a gun, basically take place in front of on national television, in front of millions and millions of people. But I just want to touch base on something real quick. First of all, that 24/7 and the shit that you hear on 24/7. That is all a drum up. It's a drum up to sell tickets. It's a drum up, to get people, geared up to order the fight. Some people may even, actually fly out and watch the fight. So with that being said, it's just a drum up. Don't believe that bullshit you hearing Timothy Bradley on there faking, talking about, you ain't better than me, boy. I don't know who he's trying to convince. I really don't know who he's trying to convince, because I really think that if you've been watching Timothy Bradley, I really honestly think that Timothy Bradley is going to fight away. If you've been following him, I think you're going to see Timothy Bradley fight a way that you've never seen him fight before. Not in a good way. Now, date back with me for a minute. When Manny Pacquiao fought Joshua Clottey. Joshua Clottey, first of all, was one of the biggest, most feared, dangerous contenders in that division. So a lot of fighters and a lot of fighters, management, and promotion team try to stay away from him. They never wanted to take the fight with Joshua Clottey because it's risk taking, it's dangerous. But in any fight, if you've ever watched Joshua Clottey's fights, in any fight that he's fought, he's never fought a fight the way he fought the way that he did when he fought Manny Pacquiao. That shit was the biggest drum up, biggest ticket seller that I've ever seen. It was built on the entertainment. Anybody who ordered that fight, I know you had to feel like you lost your money. It was like you basically just wasted your money. $60 gone down the tube for a goddamn Joshua Clottey was a punching bag the whole fight. He stood in the middle of the ring with his guards in front of his face. He threw like one or two punches, maybe, and maybe a little bit of low exaggeration, but it's like basically you watch Manny Pacquiao just go through him the whole fight. He just he was a goddamn punching bag. It was like watching spawn practice or watching Manny Pacquiao train or whatever. When he fought Marquez, you seen Marquez attacked his ass. You see Marquez went after him. He was gunning for Manny Pacquiao. You see Manny Pacquiao actually look to the corner like, you never told me that I was going to be in a situation like this. Now what do I do? And let me just go on record and just say, I don't care. You can call me an asshole. You can say whatever it is you want to say. You can say you call me biased or whatever. That's fine. I'm cool with all of that. But I'm going to go on record and I'm just going to tell you, if anybody who's been watching boxing, you've been following boxing for a while, Look at all the Freddie Roaches. Anybody who fights under Freddie Roach, none of his fighters move their head. And the key to being a good fighter is you have to have a good defense mechanism. That's what makes Floyd Mayweather so good. He rolls your punches, he circles you, he'll counter punch the shit out of you, and he makes it very difficult for you to do what you normally would do. When you're in the ring, fighting, or as I like to call gym rats, they cupcakes. You can go right through them. But getting back to the prediction and the situation at hand, I really don't feel like Timothy Bradley is going to win this fight. I don't feel like his hand is going to be raised at the end of this fight. It's a win-win situation for Timothy Bradley, but it's a win-win situation for Timothy Bradley in this sense, in a money sense. Timothy Bradley's in there to get that bag. This is the most money that Timothy Bradley has ever made in any of his fights. So all that shit, he running around, jumping around, yeah, I'm gonna do this, he calling off. And Timothy Bradley is not, he's a fucking puppet. He's one that he can put their hand in his back and he does what they tell him to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't like Floyd Mayweather. Because Floyd Mayweather gonna get on there, he gonna tell it like it is. He's not gonna bite his tongue. You can call him arrogant, you can call him whatever you want to call him, but he's not gonna bite his tongue. He's gonna be real with you, gonna keep it 100 with you. And he's gonna speak his mind. Timothy Bradley is one of them, that'll get on there and yes sir, and then man, but at the end of the day, I love boxing. I watch a lot of boxing, but this is the most, this is the most money that Timothy Bradley has ever made in any of his fights. The most money he's ever made. It's the biggest payday ever. Timothy Bradley, yeah, he wants to win. Timothy Bradley, yeah, he wants to. He wants to get paid or whatever. All that 24/7 or whatever. And let me just say that too. Unless Floyd Mayweather is on 24/7, that shit is born. It's born. It's like watching paint dry. It's born. So unless Floyd Mayweather is on 24/7, there's no excitement to it. I watched the first episode of Pacquiao and Bradley 24/7, and that shit is watered down. It's born. It's born as hell. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and this is my opinion. So some of you might like it. I don't knock nobody that watch it. If you watch it, more power to you. Continue to watch it. I ain't feeling it. I ain't with it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not feeling that at all. And the only time I watch it is when Floyd Mayweather's on there, regardless of who he's fighting. But with that being said, man, is my prediction is I feel like Manny Pacquiao is gonna give Timothy Bradley that pine saw and that mop, and everybody knows what pine saw and a mop is used for. That's to clean shit up. He gonna clean his ass up. I think you're looking at an early stoppage, 3rd round. Me personally, I don't think that I think with Mayweather now gone to do his bid, he's gone to do his bid. Now you're gonna see people. This is going to be like this comeback for Manny Pacquiao, like this bounce back after the horrible performance that he put on when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez. This is going to be like that get back, that bounce back fight. And he put on a clinic performance. So with all that being said, I just think that it's a win-win situation for Timothy Bradley. You've seen him. Anybody who's watched Timothy Bradley, he showed you where he live and how he's living and how he called his father up and told his father, you ready to retire? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like that bag. I like that green. I like what folds and goes in the pocket as well. And for those of you who don't know, that bag means that money. That means money. That's what Timothy Bradley is fighting for. He's fighting for that money. So, most fighters are. But you have to have a good defense mechanism. I've watched a lot of Timothy Bradley's fights, and honestly, I don't feel like he can contend with some of the elite fighters. He gets very sloppy at times. A lot of times he charges in. He gets complacent late and sloppy, in fights. And I think that's going to be, that's going to hurt him. It's really going to hurt him in this upcoming fight with Manny Pacquiao. I think he's going to get, a little overzealous. I don't think that he's going to stay patient, and I think that's going to actually hurt him in this fight. But so with that being said, that's my prediction. I feel like Bob Arum, if Timothy Bradley goes in there and from start to finish for all 12 rounds he destroys Manny Pacquiao, I still don't think that you'll see his hand raised, because I think at the end of the day, Bob Burnham's like, you work for me. You're going to do what I say do. You know, Manny Pacquiao is Bob Burnham's cash cow, not Timothy Bradley. So note that. This is my opinion. Like I said, I feel like, honestly, that this is just a big drum up. It's another big payday for Manny Pacquiao. Of course, he's not going to get as much as Bob Burnham, but it's another big payday for Manny Pacquiao. Timothy Bradley, this is his biggest payday. It's the biggest fight he's ever fought. So I don't think that, you know, he cares whether or not he wins. He's worried about that bag, as I said before. At the end of the night, you know, people go on record and say, you know, Floyd Mayweather is scared of Manny Pacquiao and this and that's bullshit. You don't really believe that, do you? You can't honestly tell me that you believe that Manny Pacquiao can contend with a fighter like Floyd Mayweather at all. He will get that bucket, a pine saw, and that mop too. He will get his ass chewed. Believe that. For one, he doesn't move his head. Manny Pacquiao never moves his head. All he does, he's a one-dimensional fighter. He lunges in, he throws a couple of flurries, and he bounces. He lunges in, he throws a couple of punches, and he bounces. He tries to beat fighters off of speed. And if another thing is too, I forget the fighter's name. It was a fighter just recently just went on record and said, I think he was actually bitter after a fight. After a fight, he was bitter, and he says, just recently, go look it up. You can look on FightHype.com for it. A fighter went on record and said that, you know, he said, fuck Freddie Roach, fuck Manny Pacquiao. He's on steroids, and now that he's not on steroids, you know, he looks like shit. Me personally, I can't say that Manny Pacquiao's juicing, but I am a firm believer in what Floyd Mayweather said. He said, you don't go from being a C-class fighter to an A-plus fighter overnight. I don't care who you are. It takes hard work and dedication. Not to say that Manny Pacquiao hasn't worked hard. I'm just saying that it takes hard work and dedication. And I really don't see what all the hype is about Manny Pacquiao. I don't. I think the way that Floyd fights is spectacular because the key to having a good offense is a good defense. And Floyd, you know, he exploits every fighter that he fights. I don't ride nobody. I don't do no hating them. I just tell things like it is. You know, Ricky Hatton, he said at the end of his fight, you've never seen that with Manny Pacquiao. You've never once seen him actually call out Floyd Mayweather. Maybe some of you have. I don't know. But, you know, Ricky Hatton, I mean, at the end of his fight, what did you see Ricky Hatton say? You know, on one of his fights, I forget who he fought. It might have been Baldomir or somebody. I think that's one of the best, the best 12 rounds of boxing that you ever see than any fight that Floyd Mayweather's ever fought in his life. Come on, man. He was saying that bullshit because he wanted that paycheck. You know, then you heard after Floyd blueprinted his ass, what did you hear? A whole bunch of, oh man, you know, Floyd beat him and look how Floyd destroyed him. Like Floyd said, if I had fought him, if he had fought me 46 times, he'd have been 0-46. So they drum up these fighters, man, to make them out to be something that they know that they're really, really not. And I agree with Floyd Mayweather. That shit with Larry Merchant, man, at the end of every fight, if you ever notice, at the end of every fight, he always asks a dumbass question. You can get into a fight and you can win the fight the first round off a knockout. As soon as the fight starts, you can knock your opponent out. And he will ask you the dumbest question. I don't know if he's drunk or what. Jim, we watched the fight, and we all were there on the side of the ring. But were you ever hurt at any point in the fight? You know what I mean? Or he'll go to Emmanuel Stewart, and Emmanuel Stewart says what? Oh, well, Manny Pacquiao, I just thought that Manny Pacquiao fought a great fight here. Floyd Mayweather. I'm not trying to hear that, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Let's keep it 100. You know what I mean? Let's tell it like it is. So, with that being said, I'm getting back to my prediction on Timothy Bradley versus Manny Pacquiao. I feel like at the end, I think that Manny Pacquiao he's gonna beat him. He's going to stop him. It's going to be a third round stoppage. You know, it's going to be like Timothy Bradley's taking so much punishment. Just watch the little shit that goes on in there. I mean, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. It remains to be seen. I don't feel like